discussion and I hope you all enjoyed it. And today again we have got panel discussion for all the three divisions. And class 12 children, some of the class 12 children have worked very hard to think about the topics for various divisions and also organize everything. And today, for being the moderators, class 12 girls will be the moderators for today, right? And also, once the panel discussion has taken place, and if there is time, we would like to invite people from the audience to express their views on the topics that are being discussed, right? So that will give more opportunity to you people, and it will give you more ideas to think about, right? So we will begin with the senior division now, and for moderating this, our moderator for today is Aisha, and I would like to call upon Aisha to give you further details and begin the program.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's panel discussion, as ma'am said and briefed us. We will be starting off with the senior division, which at the moment is just the 12s. So I'd like to call upon Group A on stage, which consists of Ananya, Kashvi, Satvik, Chosen, Sarthak, and Kritik. The allotted topic for Group A is social media has raised the beauty standards in a very unhealthy way. And I'd like to start off with Kashvi over here.
Hello everyone. So I agree with the statement, and I would like to say that today's generation is highly influenced by the social media. But social media is not always right. People are under this impression that people will judge them according to their appearance. So they tend to use filters and various editing methods before posting. And people also compare themselves to other people online. And various celebrities use uh, diets and and they go under um, various surgeries. That's it. Thank you.
I too agree with this topic that social media has set unrealistic beauty standards. This is because nowadays children are exposed to social media at a very young age, and they therefore are in a false bubble that everything that is happening on social media is right. So the so-called fashion influencers set very high beauty standards, and to achieve them, the teenagers, they try to work very hard. But if they are not able to achieve those unrealistic beauty standards, they feel depressed. The fitness influencers also create unrealistic expectations of fitness. When people are not able to achieve them, they get demotivated and lose all their hopes. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I too believe that social media has set unrealistic standards. This is because all of us know that a lot of influencers use editing softwares, they use multiple filters, and they have professional lighting equipment which are not available to every teenager out there. And I say teenager because the unrealistic standards affect teenagers most, because they're at a spot where they will feel insecure or they will not feel confident in themselves because of these standards. Thank you.
I also believe that social media influencers set beauty standards in a very unhealthy way. As we all know that there are thousands and hundreds of influencers on Instagram and other social media platforms that use filters to exaggerate the way they look to look more appealing. Because of this, people get the misconception and think that they look really beautiful and that glamorous in real life, but in real life they do not look like that. Thank you.
Social media has raised the beauty standard in an unhealthy way. I totally agree with the statement because we see so many people faking beautiful skins and body using filters. And there is no doubt, we also see people degrading other forms of beauty and setting their own standards for their viewers. And all they care about is the viewers. Not many just care about the money which they get from doing such things. Let me tell you that social media is the first promoter of fake beauty. Thank you.
Social media is increasing beauty standards in an unhealthy way, and I do agree to this. As people go into depression due to low self-esteem, as they think they do not get the fit, the body standard, which they are mainly set by the influencers. Also, many influencers take medicine to prevent themselves in a way that they desire, and it is not good for a person's health.
Thank you, everyone. I think the views were expressed extremely clearly. However, to set another point of view in motion, wouldn't you also agree with the fact that beauty standards aren't just set by social media, but in fact by society as a whole? In fact, any media which has any influence whatsoever somehow conforms and influences this unrealistic beauty standard. So why do we only blame social media for it? And how is it just social media in charge of this problem?
Just social media is in charge of this problem because today's generation is completely on social media. Every single person present here is completely connected on social media apps. In these 2 months vacations, we all were connected to each other just because of those media apps. Thank you.
Yes, I agree with her as people mostly stay connected with social medias to get more, um, to get more, to get more, to get more comfortable, and many people they misuse the social media in the wrong way.
I agree with her too. Millions of people are on social media and they see these influencers when they are portraying themselves as someone they're not. And they, of course, by seeing these social media influencers, they do get the standards of their own beauty high, and which by seeing these social media influencers, which are really not that glamorous in real life.
I actually agree with Aisha. Society is to blame for these unrealistic standards. But I do believe that social media is a society on its own. This society is forcing teenagers to accept this unrealistic standard. And now I started off speaking for the topic, but I would like to present a view against the topic as well, that the unrealistic standards are not exactly very unhealthy. I know some people who actually take these unrealistic standards in a challenging way. They challenge themselves and bring about improvement in their own health or in their own looks as they see fit. A person does not need to look like someone else. They can take inspiration from an influencer and decide what's right for themselves and take inspiration and help from the particular influencer. Thank you.
Yeah, social media can't totally be blamed for setting high, unrealistic beauty standards because any platform that shows your favorite or role model you say, whether it be television or whether you come to know about it through news, you set high, unrealistic beauty standards in your mind, and social media can't truly be blamed for that. Any platform that brings the news about and shares the pictures can be blamed for it. Thank you.
So I also agree with Aisha that society creates beauty standards, but social media also plays a part in it. And one should know that one should love herself or himself. That's it. Thank you.
I think we have a little bit more time left. So I would request anyone, preferably from like the senior division, to come up on stage and present their views on the topic in motion. Anyone? I feel social media has raised standards, but there's also another side of it. Like for us, social media closes the gap, the generation gap we have. For many people, like plus size or obesity is they blame the person, but they do not see that many of them face health issues. For them, this is like getting some knowledge that everyone, you cannot judge everyone just by looking, and they come in light, and you know that there are various issues. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Thank you, Aisha, for giving me the opportunity. I totally agree that social media has raised beauty standards for us. The first thing we do in the morning is we check social media, and we see and we get influenced by Chinese beauty, Korean beauty, K-pop beauty. We are all aware of these beauties. We, but don't you think that there can be a really dark side to these things? Plastic surgeries, a number of plastic surgeries which are like very unhealthy, and then there was a report how K-pop beauty is achieved. They go through medicines, they have a very bad diet. It's almost as if you're not eating anything, one meal a day. So we as teenagers also get so much influenced by these things. And in social media we see plastic surgeries, we see people who only care about views, we see people who only care about money. So yes, social media does influence all of these bad factors, and it has raised beauty standards to a very unhealthy level. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonali. Thank you all the participants. You can go back to your seats. Can everyone give them a round of applause? Next, I would like to call upon Group B, which consists of Hriday, Pari, Shime, Hansika, Suhani Panda, and Divyanshi. So I believe for Group B, the topic given is it is impossible to stop climate change and its impact now. So we'll be starting off with Hansika.
Thank you, Aisha. So, what is this climate change that we are talking about today? It's basically global warming. What does global warming mean? When carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases get trapped inside the Earth's atmosphere and they release they make it a bad atmosphere for us to breathe in, and they emit heat trapping gases like black carbon and soot. So basically, I would say that what is done can't be repaired anymore. What is done to the climate is unrepairable. But what we can do as a society is work towards a goal and stop global warming, stop the impact that the climate change has upon us today. The fact that people go through so many diseases like cancer, lung cancer, skin cancer due to this climate change is just sad. So what we can do is rely and depend on solar energy, thermal energy, geothermal energy, which is actually better for the environment and is sustainable.
What I would like to say is everybody wants to change the world in multiple ways, but what they don't think about is the severely changing climate. There are so many ways to prevent climate change, but people are doing just the opposite. Nowadays, almost everyone owns a car or a motorcycle, and if you are part of the billionaire category, then even a private jet plane. Even though we have all these problems, it still isn't too late to change this climate in every step we take. So I would ask you people, what would you do? What is your next step to change this climate? What would you like to share with us? Thank you.
climate change, according to me, is irreversible because the entire world has contributed in it somehow. So, to stop climate change, we will need the entire world's contribution once again, which I believe is very difficult in today's generation. Just think about it. If this topic is still debatable amongst us, how can we bring the entire world together to stop climate change? We might be able to reduce its effects, but to think we can stop climate change is impractical. Thank you.
Thank you, Devanshi. The main reasons for climate change is pollution, global warming, greenhouse effect. These are the reasons why we are facing climate change. And I totally agree with Hansika. She pointed out the point that we are facing incurable diseases, cancers, and that comes under the impact of climate change now. And do we think that uh, we can actually put a stop to that? So I totally agree with the topic that it is impossible to stop climate change and its impact now. We are a developing world today. We have technology, we have so much. Can we consider ourselves to live without fridge, without washing machine, without cars and all of these, which are like a daily basic needs? Our lives would come to a standstill, wouldn't it? So, in a world where we are developing, where we need technology, climate change sure has to happen. Thank you.
In my perspective, I think the main factor is industries which are developing day by day and through the centuries, and it contributes the most percentage of pollution and exploitation of environment, but we cannot stop them now. Why? Because it has its main contribution in our country's economic development, and like big large companies like Tata or like any manufacturing companies which is under them, or like any steel company which is under them, I don't think that they can stop now. Like that's impossible for us now. Thank you.
I also agree with this topic that climate change cannot be reversed because just take it that glaciers that have melted by themselves will not just refreeze by themselves. And electric vehicles were introduced to tackle climate change, but instead of tackling it, it set a new carbon footprint for it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I believe most people here agreed with the topic at hand. However, once again, putting another point in motion or another view in motion, I believe in December of 2022, Delhi, one of the most polluted cities in the world, their carbon emissions and pollution rates decreased by 25%. So, wouldn't one go to say that climate change is in fact reversible and repairable?
Thank you so much, Aisha. So basically, her motion said that Delhi's emission has decreased. That decreased because the government did realize that how the climate change is affecting us as humans on this earth. It's because the government realized what its harmful effects are. So basically, if that's what I was meaning to say before. What we do now and what we see as a result later, there's a time lag between it. But it isn't so less that we cannot see the gap. And so is that with Delhi. Even if the gap has reduced, what we did so many years before for reducing the emissions, it is now that we are seeing the results. So I think it's great that we're starting to work on how to improve the climate, and I think that we can't really repair some damage, but we can work towards a better environment that is more sustainable and eco-friendly. Thank you.
I am glad that the government over there actually realized the crisis that they were going to be in. Now, according to you, now think, what if they didn't have to take that step? How would the future generations be living over there? Aren't you guys glad that they took that step? Now see, if we had to live in such a polluted area, we wouldn't be able to, we wouldn't be so healthy. We are lucky to be in such a place which has minimal pollution, okay? That's what I would like to say. And now what I had said is we are never ever too late to change anything, okay? Anything that we do, any step that we take, we can always make a change, and I would urge you all to take that step and bring about a change to change this climate into a better way. Thank you.
I agree with what Hansika said that the government noticed. But this wasn't the first time that Delhi government has noticed and took some initiative. They had done it in the past before, but it didn't work because the people were not ready to cooperate with them. So that's what I meant when I said that we can't bring the whole world together again to undo what has already been done. Thank you.
What I personally believe is that we are less than 50 years from facing drastic climate change and natural calamities. And like Divyanshi said, the governments have taken initiatives before also. But how much have these actually brought an impact when we are actually running short of time? The damage has been done. Some irreversible damages have already been done. We are talking about a country where we burst crackers because we feel like many are not educated enough to understand what is climate and then understand what is climate change and then bring a stop and control this sudden urge of burning plastic or crackers, and we create that pollution and all sorts of, we release those pollutants into the air, and we are at a shortage of time. So that's a good thing that the government did take initiative, but it is more important that the people actually understand how much of a bad condition we are at, and we take initiative accordingly. Thank you.
So as Aisha said that in 2022, last year, like the carbon dioxide molecule had decreased because in 2022 and 21, COVID was there and most of the people in Delhi had lost their jobs, which also impacted on their lifestyle also. Most people didn't have their vehicles and they used normal transportation or didn't go out of their houses. So I think because of that, it decreased. And I think that the carbon dioxide, like the carbon dioxide and most of the pollution will come back. It's not that it will go, because I think, because I also live in Delhi, I'm a Delhi citizen. It will come back, and we have to think that what we can do. And one more thing, that India is under a project. It has 20 countries. I don't remember the name. What was the project's name? It has 20 countries, and this year, India is the main country, which is under the report, that it has to report like what has been what is being improved in India, what was the improvement, and yeah, thank you.
So I would like to say that factories are just not going to stop one day. Do you think that all factories in India are going to stop? Or like Suhani said here, we burst firecrackers on Diwali. So what do you think? People will stop bursting crackers on Diwali? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I think we've run short of time, so I'd like to request the participants to go back. Round of applause, everyone. Next up, we have the intermediate division panel. So I'd like to hand over the mic to Hansika to conduct it.
Thank you so much, Aisha. So we'll be continuing with the intermediate division. I'd like to call the group A: Aksh Agarwal, Chinmay, Trishan, Atharv Pathak, Vardhan, and Shaurya. topic given to them was social media brings us together or pulls us apart. So, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I think that social media brings people together. As you can see that with social media we can learn about America culture and Americans can learn about our culture. Thank you.
Thank you. I totally disagree with you because social media is something that the full day we are into social media, so we cannot play and we cannot improve our physical fitness and we cannot eat food because of a social media because we are full into social media all day and we cannot help improve our studies also for that. Thank you.
What I have to say about this topic is that balance is key. That if we use social media but use it for a good cause, but in a good way, in a good amount of time, that we are not on social media the entire day, but we are doing it, for example, half an hour, 45 minutes per day, actually learning from it and also enjoying, and but not let it be the master of our day. So I think that will help. Thank you.
I totally agree that social media pulls us apart as the time we spend at social media is deducted from the time that we have to spend with our family. Who among ourselves spends 2 hours with their family? I think nobody. Because the time that we should spend with our parents, our grandparents, or other family members is used up by social media. Thank you.
I totally agree with him, as I feel with social media out there, we all are spending our time on our phones and we don't find time for other people. Like we can't even find time for studying. So how can we find time for others? That's all.
I would like to say that social media is actually pulling us apart because it actually creates emotion of jealousy, as many people see on social media that people post different kinds of pictures, like they are going out on vacations and all, and it develops a kind of jealousy among people which actually pulls us apart. Thank you.
Thank you. I actually agree that balance is key. But what if I say that there are a group of people out there who are in desperate need of friends or would like to, communicate to each other and they're living very far away. And social media is how they communicate. So what would you say about that?
For people living far apart, like you said, social media is fine, but in a specific time and not spending a lot of time on it. And you can also, if you want to communicate, you can also use, like, you can just call them and speak to them. Thank you.
I feel that social media has its pros and cons. Like 90% of us, we don't find time to talk to other people. We're always busy with social media. That's all.
I totally agree that social media connects people who are far away, but we should limit the time we spend on social media and spend time with those who are connected to us in a short distance. Thank you.
I totally agree that so if someone is far away from us and we are really missing them or we would like to talk to them, social media is a great way. But I think that every day we should limit the amount of time that we are communicating with them or talking to them. Thank you.
Yes, I do think that if we don't have friends, so social media is a good platform. But the full day we can't spend on social media as it can affect our eyes. If we really want friends, we can connect. We can spend 1 or 2 hours on social media, but not the full day. Thank you.
I think that social media is a very good platform for meeting other people. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone from the audience who'd like to say something about this? Anyone, even the participants can go ahead. Anyone? Anyone? Okay, yes, please. Can we give him a round of applause, please? I
I think that social media is a way to connect with people, and it is really benefiting us, but we should reduce the time that we spend on social media and try to spend times with our friend and family. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else?
I would like to say that social media is not good because we can talk to our friends and other people by meeting them physically. So that will be much better. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think all of the speakers today here were wonderful, so please can we hear it out for them? I now request the next group that consists of Devishi, Nitya, Sara, Tripti, Kishwin and Anantya to please come up on stage and take their seats. So they too have got an extremely interesting topic. So their topic is, are parents responsible for a child's obesity? So we'll start from here this time. What would you say?
I think I would like to disagree with this topic because everybody knows that our parents, out of love, would really appreciate us to have a healthy diet. But that does not mean that everybody does not know their capacity of how much they're supposed to eat. It is upon them how much they eat and what is their fitness level. All our parents can do is encourage and support us on how our lifestyle is.
Good afternoon to everyone here. I like to disagree with the topic made today. Now, some people would say that children are immature or they make decisions without thinking about the consequences. I would like to answer this by saying that children have to become mature at a certain point of time in their life, and with that comes responsibilities, and these include taking care of one's health and modifying their lifestyle choices so that they can lead a healthy life. Thank you.
In my opinion, parents are not solely but partially responsible for their children's obesity. In some cases, some parents do not refuse their children for anything he or she asks for, even if it is not good for their health. For example, they do not stop their children from eating unhealthy food and do not force them for any healthy habit like exercising regularly or having a healthy diet. In other cases, even if the parents try to convince their children to follow a healthy routine, their children refuse to do so. That is what I have to say.
I agree with Nitya. Parents are not fully responsible for a child's obesity as they can try to cut down their diet, but ultimately it's the child's decision to follow it or not. Also, they can't oversee the child's diet at all times of the day. Like when they're in school, they can go to the cafeteria, or when they've gone out, they can help or try to help to a point, but ultimately it's the child who has to follow it.
I agree that parents are responsible for a child's obesity, as they should be monitoring their child's eating habits and putting them on a certain restriction from an early age. And if they stay in a boarding school, then the parents can ask the school for their meal plan and oversee what their children are eating. And if it's about the cafeteria, then parents can cut down some of the pocket money that they give on to the children for to limit what they're eating. Thank you.
I would like to say that some parents are not, but some parents are responsible for the child's obesity because some parents force their children to eat more than what they can or more than their capacity. So children are also not good or happy with that because they are getting forced to eat what they don't want to eat.
Thank you. So, everyone sitting here, we all love pizzas, burgers, and French fries, nuggets, everything, right? We all love it. No one can deny it. Even I can't. So basically, when a parent stops us from eating something, suppose I want to eat a pizza and my mom says no, I will get angry and throw tantrums at her. I will get angry and it's actually her that's trying to stop me from eating. So parents are not really the one who are not thinking about us. Or even if they are at one point, we do it anyway. So what do you have to say about that?
It also depends on the child of what they are thinking they are doing. If they are eating something unhealthy, which they know it's unhealthy, so it's not good. But if they want to, if they don't get it much, but they're getting in a limited amount of things, so they can eat.
I think that if you want to eat something unhealthy like pizzas, fries, like anything that is too unhealthy and not good for our diet, our parents stop us because they care for us and they don't want us to get sick or it like affect us. Whatever we are eating now will affect us in the future. So I think they're simply caring for us. But I guess once in a while they do allow us, and that is a good thing because throughout the whole time, whole like diets and not allowing them to eat junk food is not certainly a good thing. That's all I have to say.
I think our parents are just looking out for us, and they wouldn't do it if they thought it would negatively affect us. They're just doing it for our benefit. So, yeah.
I think that the parents cannot monitor their children every time. It's the child's own responsibility to think what is healthy and what is not healthy for them. So that's all I'd like to say.
I like to say that parents always think about the betterment of their children, or they care about them, so they don't want their children to fall sick or anything like that.
I think that parents, they are just trying everything for their child's betterment, but it is upon us and we know our capacity, as I said earlier, that how much we can eat. Obviously we cannot have healthy diet every time. There has to be a cheat day once in a while, but we know our capacity, and our parents can do is tell us sometimes, but they cannot be behind us all the time, right?
Thank you so much. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to elaborate on this? Yes, you may.
I wanted to say that parents are not responsible for a child obesity. Like when we go to school, our friends also sometimes say eat this, eat that. So, in the influence of peer pressure, children eat that every day and in school, every day in school, and the person gets obese. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else?
I think the parents should be I think the parents should be
Everyone here was wonderful. Can we please give them a round of applause, please? Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I would now like to hand over to Suhani.
Good afternoon to everyone again. We will be now proceeding with the junior division. So I would like to call Nimit, Pratham Rao, Vaishnavi, Yash, Archit Gupta, and Suryansh. Please come up on stage. Thank you. Now, they have a very interesting topic for junior division. Colored clothes should be allowed on Saturdays. So, I would like to pass the mic.
School uniforms represent the school. Children should not waste time choosing their outfits on Saturdays, sorry. We can wear our colored outfits on after school and in school events.
Thank you. I totally disagree with you that you think that colored clothes should not be allowed on Saturdays. I think colored clothes should be made compulsory on Saturdays because they make us comfortable, and when you are comfortable only, then then you are able to concentrate on your studies or like on sports. And I think as the teachers also are given this opportunity in working their colored clothes, we also should be given the opportunity to work in colored clothes. Thank you.
I totally disagree with him because if we change our color, if we wear colored clothes on Saturday, then we can feel jealous with our friends or others. As if he wears another expensive clothes and I wear a little less expensive, then I can feel that he's more rich, and I'll just feel that I should not talk to him. Thank you. I disagree with you. I disagree with you because I think color clothes are more comfortable, and on Saturdays are count as weekends, and on weekends we should be allowed to choose our own clothes, not the school clothes. Yeah, thank you.
I totally agree with Yash. Colored clothes are of course better than uniform because colored clothes are comfortable to wear, and I am agreeing that colored clothes should be allowed on Saturday.
I agree that color clothes are allowed at Saturday because the school is only for half day, and why we should dirty our uniform. Thank you.
Those are some wonderful points we cannot argue about. So, still, putting another point of view in motion, do you think there should be schools on Saturdays? And if so, what about like if you're saying we should be wearing colored clothes? What about the days when we have events when we should be wearing colored clothes? You know, like talent show and all. When you are participating in some function, don't you think that should be separate? And do you really think you should be having schools on Saturdays?
Uh, yes, I think so. The schools have to be in Saturday, but half. And in talent shows and etc., we should wear color clothes, but we should give one day on wearing color clothes at Saturday. Thank you.
We should have school on Saturday but half day, and we should of course wear color clothes, but on the functions I agree that we should wear uniforms.
I don't think so. On Saturdays we should have schools. Yes, we should have activities, clubs. Like I said, Saturdays are weekends, so it should be enjoyable, not studying. Yes, I agree with him. We should have Saturday off as we can spend some more time with our family, and we are boarders, so we can spend some more time with our teachers and all with our friends in dorm. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, I think if the subjects which are taught on Saturday are like covered in the on the previous days, then there should be no school on Saturday. If they are not covered in the previous days, then there should be school on Saturday and those topics should be covered on Saturday. Thank you.
I totally agree. As as we have half days on Saturdays and our teachers always take our arts lessons and other lessons, so we should have schools on Saturdays so we can cover other subjects syllabus.
Wonderful. We need to talk to Mr. Tyndale about this. Thank you so much, class 7s and 8s. You may get back your seats. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Divyanshi, Tenzin Desil, Shaurya, Parv, Arav, Sanal, Sonal, I'm not sure, Sudiksha. Who is Sonal over here? Sonal, Sanal? What is it? Sanal, right? Yeah. So sorry. Their topic is dogs are better pets than cats. Whatever your views are.
Dogs are better than cats because they are loyal and they'll never leave us alone. And if we'll be in problem, they'll help us. Whereas cats are just playing, scratching of furnitures, and giving us more works to do, like repairing furnitures and all. Thank you. I think dogs are better pets than cats because dogs are loyal and playful and even the guard of our home, while cats are just lazy and not as so playful. Thank you.
I think that dogs are better than cats because they are more protected than cats and they are more powerful and efficient than cats.
I think dogs are better than cats. Like, I'm not saying that cats are bad, but like dogs are a little bit better than cats. Like cats can be more messier than dogs, and some dogs and some cats are like very protective over their owner or something. If we are sad, the dogs and cats they come up to us and like comfort us. So like I think dogs are better.
Thank you. I would like to say that dogs are better than cats because dogs are more playful, they are brave, they guard a dog, they guard a house. But when by chance if the dog goes out of a home, it can come. It's okay. It can come on its own. And I would like to say that cats are just a waste of money.
I think dogs are better than cats because dogs are very trustworthy and loyal. Dogs can even protect you and your family from many types of dangers. Dogs helps you to release your mental stress, and dogs can even be your best friends, and cats cannot give you the peace and joy you need like dogs can. Thank you.
In my point of view, dogs are better pets than cats as dogs are loyal to their master and they are very protective. They are also called humans' best friend. I totally agree that dogs can become very aggressive, but if they are trained properly, they can surely be better than cats. Thank you.
Okay, so now the point of view in motion. All of you agree that dogs are better than cats. Okay, so what about maintenance when it comes to maintenance? It's pretty hard to maintain dogs and their hygiene, but don't you think cats are very independent? And talking about money, cats are really easy to find walking on, boundaries and terraces of any houses. Don't you think? And isn't it easier to maintain cats? They're pretty independent. So what do you have to say on that? We'll start from him.
I think dogs are better still, and I totally agree that if we need if we keep dogs, of course we need to maintain the pet, and the same goes with the cat. Uh, but I still think that dogs are very loyal and playful. Thank you.
I think we should trust dogs more because some people train their dogs wherever they go, they'll come back to their home wherever they stay. They'll not get lost. So I think so it is not a wastage of money spending on dogs.
I disagree with you. Dogs are actually easy to maintain than cats because cats they put scratches on a furniture, they put the curtains down, and so this doesn't dogs doesn't do this much. So dogs are much easy to tame.
I agree with him because if cats and dogs are in the same place and if the dog is bigger and the cat's the same age but the cat's very furry and all, I think from that dogs are better.
I think that dogs are more better than cats because dogs need less maintenance than cat, and dog are much muscular than cats.
Even dogs are expensive, but they are value for money because dogs save us from robbers and they are very playful to us.
I think dogs are better than cats in hygiene also because if we train dogs 2-3 months, they'll know where to go, and if they lost home, like Arif said, they'll come back. And if we train cats 2-3 months, and some cats are we train them and they again forget it, then we have to train them again and they can't even come back. And like Arif said, that they scratch our furnitures. So that's why dogs are better than cats.
Thank you so much. That was a lovely round. Thank you so much. You people were laughing and people had the courage to come up on stage. So great job, Junior Division. Thank you so much. You can get back to your seats. Thank you so much. Very lovely. Since we still have a little time, I would like to invite some cat lovers to say the advantages of having cats at home. Okay, we have Aris again. You're welcome on stage.
I wanted to say that cats have their advantages. They are fluffier, more hygienic, and they are more independent. Like he said that cats are waste of money. That's very offensive for cats.
Thank you, Aris. Thank you, everyone. With that, we have come to an end of all the rounds. Okay, we have another participation.